are at the trailhead for the Appalachian Trail on the north end of the Tuscarora Trail, and just at the parking lot here, and we're going to head across the meadow over here, and it's about a 2-mile hike to the Tuscarora. Right now we're just starting out, still on the AT, and like I said, it's about a 2-mile hike on the Appalachian Trail. The Tuscarora Trail starts right around the same area as the Darlington Shelter. So we are here at Darlington Shelter on the Appalachian Trail. Stopped to get lunch, hiked in. The Tuscarora Trail is actually back this way. Hiked in just to stop and have lunch at a picnic table and just take a quick break. It's pretty up here. Have a nice view out to that side. There's a spring back past the privy. We'll go and refill on our water. Seen a couple of hikers out today. I think it's called the Darlington Mountain Trail, I believe, that actually runs through here as well. It crosses with the Appalachian Trail. Saw a guy go past with a beautiful white English bulldog and a Frenchie both, so made me happy. Welcome to the Cumberland Valley. The next 17 miles are maintained by the Cumberland Valley Appalachian Trail Club. And that's our sun. road walking. We finally got off the main road. You just walk back this driveway. It looks like you're walking up to somebody's house, but you just keep going past it. Stop. Hikers welcome. Well, thank you. We just came out from the trail right here, and the trail turns, travels up this power line. So up we go. This is probably never going to capture how steep this hill is. We had to work really, really hard for this view, but it's awful nice. Swing around, let you see the other side. Tuscarora Trail takes off over there. I am severely out of breath after that climb. So we're at camp. It is, what time is it actually? 4? No, 6 o'clock. I have no idea what time it is. And we had a lot bigger miles today than we had intended to, because we made a little bit of a mistake. So when we got out of the truck and took off on the AT to head towards the Tuscarora, we failed to get the keys for the Prius out of the truck. So we hiked 2 miles into Darlington Shelter and had lunch, and we're heading out from Darlington Shelter, about to head up to the Tuscarora, and Miss Hap says, "Hey honey, where's the Prius keys? Don't you have a set?" Okay, they're in the truck. Which means that when we get to the other end of the section, we don't have keys to get in the car. So we hiked about half the way back to the truck, and then I dropped my pack off with Miss Hap, and then just slack packed the rest of the way back to the truck and got the Prius keys out. So I added an extra 4 miles onto my hike for the day, and he added an extra 2 miles on. So we have a little over 10 miles each for the day. So
lesson learned, Miss Hap will bring the Prius keys his set the next time.
I think what I need to do is, instead of keeping my keys in my purse from now on, just put them in my pack, and my pack goes in the bag with me, because I'm not going to leave my pack in the Prius. So, and even if I did, we'd figure it out as soon as we got out with the truck, and then it's just a drive back to the car to get it versus a 4-mile hike or more. So rookie mistake, and definitely a lesson learned that we won't be doing again. Good morning, friends. We are all packed up. This is day 2. Last night was not too bad. As much as the wind was blowing when we got set up during the night, the wind kind of tamed down some. Didn't get super cold during the night. I mean, it's chilly out here, but This hap's nice and warm. He had to go on the water run, which is way down there at the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
I packed up camp while he was doing the water run. So we have probably about 12 miles for today. So it is, what, about 7 in the morning, I think?
7:30.
Oh, 7:30. So we're going to get hiking. One last view from the power lines. Into the woods we go. We're officially into the Pennsylvania rocks, it looks like. They've done a good job with the trail though, the way looks like they've laid some of the rocks out flat as stepping stones for you in this section. Pretty much all the way down through. Ridge walk. Nice, flat, soft surface. And a nice view.
It's like an ATV trail or a UTV trail.
Yeah, we're on private property. You can see the posted signs and the purple paint on both sides of us usually. And apparently the landowners have given permission for the Tuscarora to come through. So being very polite to the land through here and respectful of the landowners is an important part of being able to continue using the Tuscarora Trail.
So these Pennsylvania rocks are for real. I'll try not to kill myself.
Long gap register. Took a little side trail out to this view. I think it's right out from that Longs Gap register. I'm having the Asiago pepper jack, and he's having the barbecue cheese crisps. And then we also have tuna and an Epic bar.
Like a jerky.
Yeah. Got a view. Pennsylvania hiking at its best. To the Hawk Watch. It's been nothing but a rock scramble this whole way through. Check out this mountain up here though. Very top. It looks like at one point it was just one solid sheet of rock. Somebody took a huge hammer and just shattered it. It fell to pieces. Now it looks like a rock puzzle. So we're coming up on the observation tower up here. Now it's not one that you can climb or anything. It's literally right off the road. You can just pull off the side of the road and park at it, which is what we did on the way in. And actually cached a gallon of water up here. This section of the trail is notoriously pretty dry, especially during the summer seasons. We weren't real sure if we'd be able to get water along the way. There were a couple of areas on back there we could have scraped together some water, and we didn't bother because we knew we had the water cache up here. Above the tower, it's still part of the Audubon Hawk Watch area. Trail's a little better groomed in the Hawk Watch area. It's actually more of a trail rather than a choose your own adventure across this rock playground. Irvine Shelter, and I'll give you a quick tour around it. This is where we're going to stay for the night. There's rain collection barrels in the back, picnic table, spinning around here, place for a campfire up here away from the shelter, and the view. Man, can't get over that view. Can't complain either. Charlie Irvine Shelter, the PACT or PATC. Blech. It's a small shelter. Of course, this trail isn't used as heavily as such a actual Appalachian Trail shelter, so it doesn't need to be quite as big. And even if you weren't right in the building, I mean, there's still all of the decking and everything. There's places where people could shove in extra if needed. Fire pit, and right there's the privy. So one of the reasons why we're staying here is just the water situation altogether. The next 8 miles, 8+ miles, is nothing but this rocky ridge line that we've been walking in on. So there's not going to be a good place to camp anyhow. Can't pitch a tent on rocks. And I can't make it another 8.5 miles this evening. And water, I mean, we got to be able to find water along the way also, so in order to have breakfast and dinner. So tonight we'll sleep in our first shelter. Pretty primo shelter, so I think we couldn't have done any better for our first shelter. sleeping in a darn log cabin, to be honest. Thank you, Charlie Irvine and the PATC. So dinner this evening is a tuna casserole, essentially. So in here is like powdered cheddar cheese and butter, powdered butter, and some dehydrated broccoli, done really fine. Got some tuna in sunflower oil that I'm going to dump in there, and then there are crushed pork rinds to put on top of it. We're just heating some water to dump onto the cheese sauce and make it saucy, creamy saucy, and that's dinner for today. Good morning, folks. I don't know if you can really see because it's fairly dark out yet, and this camera doesn't pick up well on selfie mode. We are packed up, just getting our breakfast real quick, and we're going to head out. We got up at 5:30. It's probably pushing 6 o'clock right now. I just have to eat my breakfast when we're drinking our coffee, but I'll flip the camera around, let you take a look. Got our coffee. Can't see over there so much, but the view for the morning. I hear an owl hooting out in the distance. Hey, so we're about probably somewhere between a quarter and a half mile in, I would say, having just left the shelter, and immediately starts out with some rocks, which they're pretty well curated, like they've made a path through it, so those aren't bad. According to the trail guide, we have about 8.5 miles total after leaving the shelter of what they refer to as the rockiest section of the entire Tuscarora Trail. There's no water here, which is why we had stayed at the shelter last night, so that we knew we'd have water and a place to actually sleep, because you can't pitch your tent out here in all these rocks. So we'll go get hiking and give you some footage of what is good to see. About 2 miles into our hike. Honestly, so far the rock fields haven't been quite as bad as yesterday's rock fields. There's a little bit better curated path through it. And for the most part, it's been a little bit flatter, more so up on a ridge. Some of what we were going through yesterday was climbing up a mountain. While we were on a rock field. Occasionally a boulder field. So it made for pretty slow moving yesterday. I think we're moving at a little bit better pace today. And the weather's definitely prettier. Got sunshine from the start today. Yesterday we didn't hit sunshine until around lunchtime. And then probably by about 3 o'clock, sunshine was going again. Body feels pretty good for the beating I've been giving it the last 2 days. Got a little bit of a problem with my left foot, maybe a little bit of tendonitis in that foot. Sometimes when I step off of a rock and hyperextend that foot, it feels a little bit like cotton stretching there in the arch of my foot. So taking it a little bit easier on that left foot than what I would otherwise. What about you, Miss Hep?
Mishap feels awesome. No knee pain.
And that's a blessing because that's been his biggest qualm lately. The knees.
Hopefully this will get him in a little bit better shape.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for my ankles. I have weaker ankles, not a lot of strength around those, and this is definitely testing my ankle strength and stability, so hopefully I'll come out of all of this with some stronger ankles. We stopped for a little break back there. I'd say we're probably about 4 miles in. I'll check the guide here in a minute, since we finally have a bit of a landmarker with this gate. That'll give us a clue as to about how far we came in for the day. Because we're not running GPS, we're trying to conserve our battery life. Not really sure why, because we have the 20,000 anchor with us, and that's more than enough battery to suffice for a 3-day trip. Heck, I think when I unplugged my phone today, it was still showing 4 lights on the battery pack. So this,
hopefully the trail stay like this.
I was gonna say, this looks like a godsend of a trail for the moment after all these rocks. So we'll get back to you. To the top of this ridge, and was greeted with a pretty decent view through the trees, but even better, we turned around and saw a trail that's, hell, most of the rocks are off to the side. We actually get some real hiking in again instead of rock scrambling.
A blast.
A glute blast, a quad blast,
Yeah.
An ankle blast, a toe bashing blast. It's all kinds of blasts. So far though, I'm loving it. I was telling Mishap earlier, I enjoy the fact that most of the trail's more rustic than what you're going to find like on the Appalachian Trail. It's not heavily worn. There's a camping spot, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to refer back to the trail guide. I think down this trail's a little lookout maybe, so I'm going to pull out the trail guide and take a look at it. If there's a nice viewpoint, I'll let you see it too. The trail through here turned into something quite special. Very nice. Going through a crop of hemlock trees and have a nice little stream beside us with running water. Little tiny cascades. Yeah, the tree right beside me, very big oak tree. Hemlock's in the way here. Hiking on, we've got a big uphill coming up. Supposed to be a heck of an overlook up there though, so I'm excited to get up there and see that. And then from there, it's pretty much all downhill back to the car. So one more big up. And this section's done. You ready, Mishap?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Alright, made it back down from the overlook. Come down a pretty rocky slope down the side of the mountain. And then you get this nice boardwalk. And it's like smooth sailing, easy on your feet. take it for as long as I get it, which doesn't look like it's very long. We have made it to, this is the wagon wheel shelter. Very rustic log cabin style. It's kind of cute. 10.8 miles back to the one that we stayed at this morning, to Irvine. Got a couple little shelves and a couple pegs to hang in their stuff. Little lockbox. I was gonna say, I don't see a register. Oh man, there's some firewood cut in the back. That's sweet. Whoever hauled that in for people, that's extremely nice. And as far as I can see, there's no trail or trail log, shelter log. Another shelf and some more hooks. Junction. Alright. We have the Warner Trail going this way. The Lehman Trail going this way. This is the Tuscarora where we came from. And the Tuscarora that we're heading towards. Plus trailhead down to the state park. So, what is it? 5? Yeah, 5 different trail intersection. And we've got 1.5 miles to go. Let's get it. So, still coming down the mountain. We're getting super close to the bottom though. We can hear traffic down on the road below us. Fairly steep. Very rocky. Oy. This is a short little road walk. Like, 100 yards. Back to the parking lot where we left Pearl. We literally, we're pretty much parked right on the Tuscarora. You can see the trailblazers there on the trees. Trail goes on up this little road. So we'll be parking here when we come back next time to hike in from. And then we'll have our truck parked on the other end somewhere. So, woohoo!